Tommy Robinson interview on Sky News sparks debate over grooming gang investigations. A recent Sky News segment featuring Tommy Robinson, the controversial activist and former English Defence League founder, has reignited public debate over how the UK handles grooming gang investigations. While the issue has long been a point of political and public concern, Robinson's appearance brought renewed attention to questions about institutional accountability, media transparency, and community trust. His comments during the interview were met with strong reactions, some praising him for speaking bluntly, others warning about the risks of inflammatory rhetoric. The exchange underscored how deeply divided public opinion remains on this sensitive subject. The Sky News segment was part of a broader discussion on institutional failures in past child exploitation cases, including high-profile grooming scandals in towns like Rotherham, Rochdale, and Telford. These cases involved prolonged abuse of underage girls by groups of men, often involving systemic failures by police, social services, and local councils. During the interview, Tommy Robinson accused authorities of turning a blind eye to these crimes for fear of being seen as racist. Political correctness, he claimed, has cost lives and ruined the futures of thousands of girls. The host challenged these claims, pressing Robinson on the dangers of generalizing entire communities and stoking division. She reminded viewers that multiple Home Office and independent reports have concluded that grooming and child sexual exploitation are not confined to any one ethnic or religious group. As expected, the interview quickly gained traction online. Supporters of Robinson applauded his appearance, arguing that mainstream media platforms rarely give voice to such critiques. Hashtags related to the segment trended briefly on X, formerly Twitter, with users weighing in from across the political spectrum. Some viewers praised Robinson for saying what others are too afraid to say. One user wrote, "He spoke the truth the media hides. It's about protecting children, not protecting reputations." However, many others raised concerns about the implications of platforming someone with Robinson's background, particularly given his history of controversial statements and past legal issues. Critics argued that presenting him as a credible voice on such a sensitive issue risks oversimplifying a complex matter and stirring unnecessary fear or resentment. The cases Robinson refers to are well documented. Investigations like the J report in Rotherham revealed shocking failures by authorities, who admitted to hesitating due to fears of being labeled racist or culturally insensitive. These hesitations contributed to delays in justice for hundreds of victims. However, subsequent government reviews have cautioned against attributing grooming gang crimes to any single ethnic or religious group. A 2020 Home Office report found that group-based child sexual exploitation offenders are most commonly white, although acknowledging that some high-profile cases have involved Pakistani men. This distinction is crucial. Experts warn that overemphasizing ethnicity can both obscure the wider scope of the problem and damage community relations. Criminologist Dr. Ella Morris commented after the broadcast, "We need to address institutional failings, but we must avoid letting the conversation be hijacked by narratives that blame entire communities." Tommy Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, is a polarizing figure in British politics and media. He rose to prominence in the 2010s for his criticism of Islam and mass immigration, leading the English Defence League until stepping down in 2013. Since then, he has focused on activism and documentary-style content related to issues of child abuse, political speech, and freedom of expression. His critics accuse him of fueling xenophobia and exploiting serious issues for political purposes. His supporters argue that he highlights institutional failures the mainstream media ignores. Due to multiple violations of platform guidelines, Robinson has been banned from various social media services. His appearances in mainstream outlets like Sky News are therefore rare and almost always contentious. While the Sky News host ensured the interview maintained a challenging and balanced tone, the decision to feature Robinson at all has prompted debate among journalists and viewers alike. Was this a case of giving space to uncomfortable truths or legitimizing a divisive voice? Sky News defended the segment, stating, "We are committed to journalistic fairness. Challenging controversial guests on air is part of ensuring open debate while upholding our editorial standards." At the same time, child protection advocates have renewed their calls for more funding and transparency in grooming investigations. "It's not about politics," said Lucy Hargreaves, a survivor advocate. "It's about making sure these crimes are never ignored again." As with many conversations in today's media landscape, the reactions to Robinson's interview highlight the tension between free speech and responsible discourse. While raising awareness of grooming gang crimes is vital, It must be done with precision, empathy, and a deep understanding of the facts. Blanket accusations or exaggerated claims risk further alienating communities, damaging the credibility of legitimate critiques, and ultimately failing the very victims the conversation is meant to support. The recent Sky News segment served as a reminder that Britain's most difficult conversations cannot be avoided, but they must be approached with care. Whether you agree or disagree with Tommy Robinson, the real question is this: how do we ensure justice for victims, accountability from institutions, and unity within our communities? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the media should give airtime to controversial voices if it sparks important conversations? Or are there better ways to hold institutions accountable? If you value in-depth, balanced political coverage, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and tap the bell to stay informed as we continue to explore the key issues shaping modern Britain.